Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another third-party unlicensed 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. Today we're taking a look at the Toy Battalion Albino Tiger, aka the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie fully armored and morphed White Ranger. Now I got mine at a discount from KG Hobby. I have popped a link to their site in the description below for your reference purposes only. This is by no means a promotional video. This is a review. As always, all opinions are 100% my own. If you are heading down to the description, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, so you're notified as soon as a brand new Toy Battalion Power Rangers figure review goes live on the channel. As for the box art, please forgive me if I don't spend too long on this. The artwork is quite simple, and I've waited 29 years for a figure of this guy to be made, so I don't want to dilly-dally about. Up front, we've got a glossy silhouetted image of the figure itself, front and center, and then up top, Albino Tiger. Just to avoid confusion, I'm going to say albino the American way because some people just didn't understand why I was saying it differently in the Ninjetti video. On the side of the box, Albino Tiger once more, and a bunch of lightning, plus a lens flare in the middle. Around the back, there's this super subtle image of a Morphin in the background, and they very cleverly used a circular frame for the warnings and legal info, so they sit really nicely within the center of the Morpher, making it look like that stuff is the power coin. I didn't mention this in the Ninjetti video, but RIP JDF. We lost him far too soon. He was an awesome dude. He actually did a video cameo for my sister's 13th birthday, and she loved it. He was 100% my favorite part of Power Rangers. Tommy is the shit. First in-hand impressions for the White Ranger from the Power Rangers movie, though, really freaking good. This thing looks insane. I cannot wait to get stuck in. What we're going to do now is get all of his accessories laid out in the light box and take a closer look at everything he comes with. Starting off with the display base first. It is the exact same base mold as the Ninjetti figure, but the artwork is subtly different. We'll get to that in just a minute. Up front, there's no nameplate, which is fine with me. I much prefer a blank nameplate area than printing something stupid like Albino Tiger on the front of it. Now I can add my own nameplate. The top panel is done in this textured grippy finish, and there's an adjustable crotch grabber with some soft rubber stoppers around the front, so they shouldn't do any damage to the suit itself. The one big key difference with the artwork is that for the morphed figure, we've got the Tiger power coin, whereas for the Ninjetti, there's the Falcon power coin in the Morpher. That's a bit of attention to detail I was not expecting, because they could have very easily just reused this base. Technically, in the movie, when he had the armored suit on, at the end of it, he did have the Falcon power coin in his Morpher and on his chest symbol. But they didn't cheap out, they gave us some bespoke artwork that matches the actual figure. Poor Saba, he just can't catch a break. This is just as inaccurate as the Ninjetti one. We've got the gold at the back of the blade, and yes, mine does have a crack through it, which is unfortunate. There's the Tiger power coin on both sides, and his head is painted gold where it really should be silver. This is the 3.0 version. We've got the holes through the blade, it extends as it's supposed to, and Saba's head is the correct color. They've even painted those little dots in gold, whereas with the third-party one, they didn't bother. I'm not overly fussed about the cracked Saba because, according to Toys Battalion, they are going to supply us with a replacement Saba anyway that I assume is going to be much more accurate. They do say that they promise it's going to be worth the wait, and I hope that's true. And lastly, a full array of hands. These don't read as though they're third-party hands to me. The detail is crazy. We've got leather grain texture and a pearlescent finish, the ribbing detail, which is a bit janky, so it looks hand-stitched as though these could be made out of fabric, the panels on the fingers, and they're made of a softer, pliable rubber, so popping these on the body is going to be very easy. Those were the martial arts style pose hands. We also have some open palm ones. Some gripping hands. The rubbery material makes popping Saba in them quite straightforward. Then two closed fists already installed on him out of the box. What we're going to do now is get the White Ranger himself out here. Standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that. This is it for me when it comes to Power Rangers. I'm sure most of y'all probably prefer the TV show Sentai suits, but these busy looking, shiny movie costumes is what I picture in my mind's eye when I think of MMPR. The movie is so ingrained in my memory from when I was a kid that I just can't shake that. The proportions of the figure look solid to me. The armor seems accurate enough at first glance. We will, of course, dive in deeper. And the paint is extremely sharp. We've got pearls and metallics with washes over the top to bring out sculpted detail. This is a masterclass in translating to 1/6 scale a crazy looking intricate superhero suit design. There have been customs by various makers out there, but no big companies have attempted this in this scale in 29 years. Just let that sink in. I can't believe it's taken this long. The fact that this thing even exists is a feat in and of itself. Up close and personal, if only Kid Justin could see me now, because ever since I saw this movie for the first time, I've wanted figures of these movie suits. They are so toyetic, and it's a crime that we only had inaccurate 5-inch ones from Bandai back in the day. This is what I'm talking about. Starting off with Tommy's helmet, shape and size-wise, it looks great to me. The paint is crisp, including the very thin pinstripe lines in between the tiger eyes. The only inaccuracy is that the mouth plate is painted in pearl white rather than silver. I am tempted to fix that myself, but from a distance, because it is recessed into the sculpt, and the pearl is as shiny as it is, shadows do make it look darker than the rest of the suit anyway, so I reckon I could get away with it. They've even gone so far as to add the vent around the back, which is something that I definitely thought they would miss. If you find the neck is a bit long, the chest armor is adjustable up and down, so you can bring it up and shorten that neck a touch. Which is a good thing, because depending on the pose, you may need a little bit of extra neck length to get his head to look up as much as possible. And by the way, that's a crazy range of motion. The suit underneath the armor is made up of quite a few different layers of different pieces that are also made of different materials. The armor plating is a softer rubber that's been painted in pearl white. Then this ab piece is more of a rubbery material. It's quite flexible though. We also have the stitched ribbed sections for the elbows and then above the thigh plates and down here for the knees. But underneath all of that, there's a shiny spandex layer of material. It's like there's a coating on the surface. So this butt plate and back here and up here for the neck, this is the base layer of fabric. You can see it poking out from underneath the armor plating. It does feel durable enough. Still, I would be careful leaving this guy in dynamic poses for an extended period of time. The chest armor is rigid, and the matte finish, while it looks good and it contrasts with the gloss for the suit, it's not super accurate. This should be more of a satin finish. So, just like the mouth area, that's something I'm tempted to fix myself. I would have liked to swap out chest symbols because at the start of the movie, yes, he is using white tiger power, but later on he starts using the falcon power coin as his chest logo for the Ninjetti outfit and this one. They could have had swap out pieces between the two suits. It would have been quite straightforward. You can take this off if you want to. You'd have to remove the helmet, then slide this off. I'm always going to leave it on because this is White Ranger. The armor does complete the look. I'm sorry to keep pointing out all these inaccuracies. In between the gold plates on the gloves, they're quite metallic. There's supposed to be black line work, and there's meant to be some gold line work for pinstriping on the chevrons at the bottom of the gauntlets. There is this leather grain texture and the stitched pads sculpted in on the inside of them. and they've added a gold wash in the ribbing on the back of the hands. So the detail is all there. You're just going to have to grab a paintbrush and touch up a few things if you want this guy to be 100% movie accurate. The morpher, though, there's silver for the main morpher part, then pearl white for the holder, red around the edge, and the tiger power coin, which matches the tiger massive power coin on his chest armor. The belt is attached with Velcro, so that is something that can be moved or adjusted, pose depending. Coming down to the legs, you can see that shine on everything, right? When you light this guy correctly, he glistens, and that is spot on. It's exactly what I wanted out of a 1/6 scale movie suit for the White Ranger. These rib sections are free floating, so you can move them around, and the thigh plates are attached to these ribbed pieces that connect to his crotch area. The construction, like I've already said, is layered. You'll just have to see what I mean when you get yours in hand. One thing that I do want to mention before we get to the boots is that even though the outfit is restrictive, and by all means the real suits were known to be that too, you can still get his arms almost completely flushed down by his sides. Okay, now for the boots. There's wrinkling and leather grain texture. There should be black in between these panels, just like for the gloves. And they're a split cut boot design, so maximum range of motion. We've got the gold detailing and some fully sculpted tread on the underside. I am curious to see what this guy looks like with the Ninjetti head sculpt on, so yeah, let's give that a go. Not bad. It still doesn't look like JDF to me. If you can see the likeness, I am happy for you. I'm not going to display him like this. I prefer to just leave the Ninjetti head sculpt on the Ninjetti body, and I'm going to have this one fully helmeted. I'm still surprised at how sick this looks. I tried it in the Ninjetti video with the 3-0 helmet, and while that is awesome, something about this looks even cooler. I reckon it's the sleekness of the MMPR movie helmet design. The neck connector inside the helmet is the same one that's in the Tommy head, so this is properly connected up to the ball joint at the top of the neck. I apologize for this. I did mention in a pinned comment for the Ninjetti video that I forgot to show you what he looks like with the hood and mask and sash piece on. In that video, I had him displayed without the sash. To be accurate to the movie versus Season 3 of MMPR, this is supposed to be there. Now, with this on, in addition to everything else, it bulks out his neck area, and yeah, for those of you in the comments who said I missed it, you were bang on. This looks so much better. For a quick side-by-side comparison, on the left, Toy Battalion Morphed White Ranger, and on the right, Toy Battalion Ninjetti. For a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie fan, it doesn't get much better than this. Tommy is my guy, and now having both versions of his suits from that movie that means so much to me, yeah, I'm one frickin' happy collector right now. The morphed figure is a touch taller than the Ninjetti. That makes sense because the helmet is quite chonky, and he's got those big thick-soled boots on. Then again, seeing him next to 3-0's officially licensed MMPR TV series White Ranger based off the original Sentai look for him, yeah, this isn't bad too, because now you have that juxtaposition between the Japanese outfit versus the much more over-the-top look for the American movie. Going over articulation, I'm curious to see if the curse of the movie suits being terrible for the stunt performers to move around in is also true of the figure version. Starting off with the helmet, there's a double ball peg up underneath it, and there's a ball joint at the base of the neck. Combined, looking forward to there, looking up to there, way further than I expected, honestly, swivel and pivot side to side. The chest armor is free floating, so you can move it around a bit. The arms will go up to there. Going forward on clicky ratchets, there's a butterfly joint at the shoulder that hinges up and down. Swivel at the bicep underneath this armor plating. Double bend at the elbow on ratchets. The gauntlet does collide with the bicep armor though, so it gets you just past 90. Then the wrist peg is a hinge and swivel. His torso crunches forward to there and holds, going back to there, swivel and pivot side to side. The legs go forward to there and spring back down a bit, going out to there, swivel at the upper thigh. Ratcheted double bend at the knee, and the knee pad is attached to the bottom joint, not the top, so it moves around quite freely. This will go past 90 before the boot does collide with the back of the thigh. And then a split cut boot design with a double ball peg for the ankles. Good for forward and back, swivel, as well as ankle tilt. Wrapping up on my dream Power Rangers figure. Toys Battalion, you guys killed it. This and the Ninjetti have reignited my love for Power Rangers. This one does hit harder for me out of the two, and that's just down to the cool factor. Fully armored Power Rangers, but still classic enough to fit in with the TV show suits by 3-0, that's where it's at for me. Yes, there was some hate for these designs, and there probably still is, but I ain't gonna go anywhere near that. In figure format, this is a near perfect release. Perfect for me, I should say. It's almost like it was destined to be an action figure. My toyetic meter is off the charts with this one. Practicality-wise, it's not the most posable thing out there, granted. Then again, the actors in costume on set, they struggled with stunts due to how restrictive the real things were. You could even argue that this moves more freely than the real deal. Now that I think about it, that must be why they made the Ninjetti, right? One White Ranger to pose like crazy with a full fabric outfit, and another for more museum-esque poses, just to have standing there looking badass. It's all making sense now. If that was the intention behind the Duo release, kudos to them for going that route. So at the end of this, I may be biased because of how much I love these suits. Even then, you've seen the darn thing yourself throughout this video. Surely you can tell how epic it is. You'll now find me sitting here impatiently waiting for the release of the rest of the Armored Suit Rangers, and fingers crossed the announcement of the rest of the Ninjetti. Toys Battalion? Get on it. Now, I got mine at a discount from KG Hobby. I have popped a link to their site in the description below for your reference purposes only. This was by no means a promotional video, this is a review. All opinions have been 100% my own. If you are heading down to the description, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.